This is the topic 3 of the chapter, Physical Quantities, and their units.
这是主题3，物理量 （Physical Quantities） 及其单位 （Units）。
Physical quantities are quantities that can be measured. For example, length and time. Another said, physical quantities are the item that can be quantified. To verify if an item that can be measured or quantified, you may ask a question to yourself. The question is, how many is the item? If the question can be answered by using a number, then it is a physical quantity. For example, about the length. You may ask how far to be traveled from your home to your school? There will always an exact number, for example 5 kilometers. This means that length is a physical quantity.
物理量是可以测量的量，例如长度、时间。另一个说法，物理量是可以量化的事项。要验证一件事物是否可以被测量或量化，您可以问自己一个问题。问题是：该物品有多少？如果问题可以通过使用数字来回答，那么它是一个物理量。例如，关于长度，您可以问：从家到学校要走多远？总会有一个确切的数字，例如5公里。这意味着长度是一个物理量。
The opposite of physical quantities are non-physical quantities. Non-physical quantities are quantities that cannot be quantified. For example, human feeling, such as love, hate, angriness. Try to answer a question now. How much your mother love you? Can this question be simply answered by number?
物理量的对立面是非物理量。非物理量是无法量化的数量。例如，人类的感情，如爱、恨、愤怒。现在，您尝试回答一个问题：您妈妈有多爱你？这可以简单的通过给出一个数字来回答这个问题吗？
Why we need physical quantities? We need physical quantities, so the phenomena that occur in our environment can be observed.
为什么我们需要物理量？我们需要物理量，以便发生的现象环境中可以被观察。
The thing that you must always remember is, all the knowledge in science subject is generated through the observation of the phenomena that happen in our environment. And measurement is the way to perform the observation to. The conclusion is, through the physical quantities, the phenomena that occurred in our environment can be measured, and then it can be observed.
你必须永远记住的是，科学学科中的所有知识都是通过对现象的观察而产生的。这发生在我们的环境中。测量是对现象进行观察的方法。结论是通过物理量，我们环境中发生的现象可以被测量，然后再被观察。
We can say that in natural science subject, only the phenomena that can be observed will be studied. Again, can be observed mean that it can be measured. How can it be measured? It is measured through physical quantities.
可以说，在自然科学领域，我们仅研究那些可以被观现象。同样，可以观察到，表示可以被测量到。如何测量？它是通过物理量来衡量的。
Physical quantities can be classified into two groups. They are base quantities and derived quantities.
物理量可以分为2种，它们是基础数量和衍生数量。
Base quantities are the physical quantity, not derived from other units. Another say, they are the most basic physical quantities. In general, there are only 5 base quantities. They are length, mass, time, temperature, and electric current.
基础数量是那些不是从其他单位得出的物理数量。另一种说法是它们是最基本的物理量。总的来说，只有5个基本数量。它们是 length 质量 mass 时间 time 温度 temperature 和电流 electric current.
Derived quantities are the physical quantities, derived from base quantities. It means that derived quantities is generated through the multiplication and division in between the 5 base quantities. For example, volume is the derived quantity. It comes from multiplication in between the physical quantity, length x, length y, and length z. Volume is derived quantity come from the multiplication of 3 length. Another example is speed. Speed is about how fast an object is in moving. Speed can be measured by measuring the total distance traveled by the object within 1 second. It is the total length that have been traveled, divided by the total consumed time for the traveling. So speed is the derived quantity come from base quantity, length divided with base quantity, time.
衍生数量是从基本数量衍生出来的物理数量。这意味着衍生的数量是通过5个基本数量之间的相乘和相除而生成的。例如，体积是衍生数量。它来自于物理量长度 x、长度 y 和长度 c 之间的相乘。体积衍生自3个长度的相乘。另一个例子是速度。速度是关于物体运动的速度，可以通过测量物体在1秒钟内移动的总距离来测量速度。它是行驶的总长度除以行驶的总时间。因此，速度是从基本量长度除以基本量时间得量。
The 5 base quantities are measured in the International System of Units.
5个基本数量是以国际单位制 SI 单位来计量的。
Length is measured in unit meter, with symbol m. For your knowledge, other than the internation system, there are also other measurement system, for example, the British Imperial Measurement System. In British Imperial Measurement System, the length is measured in unit, inch. In our learning, we always use international system.
长度以单位米为单位，符号为 m。就您所知，除国际单位之外，还有其他测量系统，例如英制测量系统。在英制测量系统中，长度以英寸为单位进行测量。在学习中，我们始终会使国际单位制。
In SI unit, mass is measured in unit, kilogram, with symbol kg.
在 SI 单位中，基本量、质量以千克为单位测量，符号为 kg.
In SI unit, the base quantity, time, is measured in unit, second, with symbol s.
在 SI 单位中，基本量、时间以秒为单位测量，符号为 s.
In SI unit, the base quantity, temperature, is measured in unit, Kelvin, with symbol K.
在 SI 单位中，基本量、温度以单位开尔文 Kelvin 测量，符号为 K.
In SI unit, the base quantity, electric current, is measured in unit, ampere, with symbol A.
在 SI 单位中，基本量、电流以单位安培测量，符号为 A.
In the S.I units, prefixes like milli, centi, and kilo, will be added before the unit to represent decimal multiples and submultiples of the unit. For example, the unit used for physical quantity, length, is meter, which denoted by symbol m. When k is added before the unit, m, which denotes the kilometer. When c is added before the unit, m, which denotes the centimeter. When m is added before the unit, m, which denotes the millimeter.
在国际单位制中，在单位之前将添加前缀，例如 milli、centi 和 kilo， 代表单位的十进制的倍数和约数。例如，用于物理量长度的单位为米，用符号 m 表示。当在单位 m 之前添 k 时表示公里。当在单位 m 之前添加 c 时表示厘米。当在单位 m 之前添加 m 时表示毫米。
The prefixes for decimal multiples of the unit are used to express the physical quantities with very large values. For example, 1000 meter can be written as 1 kilometer. 1 kilo represent 1000, or we used to write it as 10 power of 3. 1 million meter can be written as 1 megameter. The prefix 1 mega represent 1 million, or we used to write it as 10 power of 6. 1 billion meter can be written as 1 gigameter, where 1 giga represent 1 billion, or we used to write it as 10 power of 9. The prefixes for decibels of the unit provide the convenient way to write a large value.
用于表示具有非常大值的物理量。单位十进制倍数的前缀，例如1000米可以写成1公里1000米。1 kilo 代表1000，或者我们用它写成10的3次方。100万米可以写成1兆米1 megameter。前缀1 mega 表示100万1兆，或者我们将其写为10的6次方。10亿米可以写成1000兆米1 gigameter。1 giga 代表10亿，或者我们将其写为10的9次方。单位十进制倍数的前缀提供了便捷的方法，去写一个大的数值。
The prefixes for submultiples of unit are used to physical quantities with very small values. For example, 0.01 meter can be written as 1 centimeter. 1 centi represents 0.01, or we used to write it as 10 power of negative 2. 0.001 meter can be written as 1 millimeter. 1 milli represents 0.001, or we used to write it as 10 power of negative 3. 0.000001 meter can be written as 1 micrometer. 1 micro represents 0.000001, or we used to write it as 10 power of negative 6. The prefixes for submultiples of the unit provide the convenient way to write a very small value.
单位约数的前缀用于表示物理量很小的值。例 0.01 米可以写为1厘米1厘米1 centimeter。1 centi 代表 0.01， 或我们可用10的减2次方来表示。0.001 米可写为1毫米1 millimeter。1毫1 milli 代表 0.001， 或我们用10的减3次方来表示。0.000001米可以写为1微米1 micrometer。1微1 micro 代表 0.000001， 或我们将其写为10的减6次方。单位约数的前缀提供了便捷的方法，写一个很小的值。
This new topic, we will talk about the importance of SI units in daily life.
在这个新主题，我们将讨论 SI 单位在日常生活中的重要性。
Since 1906, scientists adopted the SI units in measurement system.
自1960年以来，科学家在测量系统中采用了 SI 单位。
There are two importance of SI units. The first is to ensure the information is shared in greater accuracy. The second is to make the global communication more convenient and efficient.
SI 单位有两个重要性。第一，确保信息共享的准确性更高。第二，使全球沟通更加便捷高效。
Before the SI units were introduced, different countries had their own units system used in their measurement.
在引进国际单位之前，不同的国家在测量中使用了自己的单位制。
For example, for measuring mass, in Southeast Asia, the units of kati and tael were used. Whereas, in Western countries, pound and ounce were used.
例如，在测量质量方面，在东南亚 ，kg 和 tael 单位被使用，而在西方国家则使用磅和盎司。
Such differences had made difficulties in information exchange and international trading.
这种差异使信息交流和国际贸易困难重重。